I've been messing around with this Pioneer SA5800 here for a while, and had this receiver for quite a while. Not sure where I got it from. I've had it for probably a good 20 years or so. It has served me quite faithfully. It was just simply in my rack over here. You can see that empty space right there. And that's where it sat for ages and ages, and it drives these speakers in the ceiling for my office, for my computer, and all my other electronics, AV stuff here. And that's just what it had been doing for years and years, until suddenly one day it wouldn't power up. Normally it would just sit there and run, and whenever I had computer audio going, it would play. It would go almost weeks at a time without being turned off, till it just suddenly stopped working. So went ahead and dug into this thing and started working on it. One of the interesting things I noticed about it when I started taking the cover off, first of all, you notice it's kind of dusty and dirty on the inside here, but when you look at the bottom and the back side here, it looks like it has some sustained, at some point in its life, some water damage. That looks like, you know, it's not really corrosion, but it's just like this dusty, dirty stuff here. I'm not sure. But the thing about it is this has not contributed to the failure, whatever the failure is. First of all, it is a power related issue, and of course, you know, since it's not powering up, it's the first thing you want to go for. But the whole entire power supply, even though it doesn't power up, is not dead. First of all, let me explain how a power supply and how sound works here, using a basic speaker. You need two power supplies and a power amp. You need a positive and a negative. And the reason for that is a speaker is pushed outwards by a positive and pushed downwards by a negative. And the way that works is, so you need a positive and a negative power supply. The way it works is, the speaker, if you've ever actually touched a speaker while it's playing, you may notice that it's vibrating. You know, you put your hand out there and you can just feel it just shaking and vibrating, and that's what it does. It vibrates the air and makes the sound. But of course, to go up and down like that, you need to switch between positive and negative very rapidly. But you need that positive and negative there. Inside the stereo here, you see there's 4 transistors. There are 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you can look closely at them here, you may notice that 2 of them are kind of a bluish green there, and 2 of them are black. The ones that are black, I believe, are P and P's, and the ones that are blue are NPNs, meaning positive and negative. This one comes on. There's a total of 4 of them here, obviously, because you've got 2 speakers. You know, 2 transistors per left channel and 2 transistors for the right channel. So what you have is one turns on to send the positive signal to the speaker terminals, and then one turns on a negative, and it sits here and goes back and forth to drive the speaker. And it goes back and forth, and it goes positive, negative out of the speaker, and that's how it drives your speaker in and out and makes your sound. So you need positive and negative power. So looking at the circuit diagram here, this is of the power supply in the unit. These terminals here on the bottom are designated these connections right in there. And these 2 big capacitors here are right here in the circuit as well. Now you probably see where I have written on here positive and negative 33. I do have these sources of power. So the whole entire receiver is not dead, but what is going on is over here. This is a voltage regulator, and the way it works is you have a Zener diode here, and this is supposed to drop 35 volts on it, and it's supposed to tell this that we should be getting about 34 volts out of it. You can see how I've written on here, it has 0 volts. And on that Zener diode there, 10 volts. It's supposed to be 35 across there. Then you look the rest of the way up in here, I don't have any voltage across that. And these wires, you see they're going off the picture here, go to other various circuits in the amp and power them. And most of it's the low voltage circuitry to power things like the display screen here, and to power some of your what are called preamp circuits. Some of these other transistors in here, and up here on this little circuit board is the what's called the phono preamp, which boosts the signal from your record player turntable. And none of these circuits are working. And I am still trying to figure out what is going on here. I've replaced this Zener diode. All 3 of these transistors are checking good, and I got several kilo ohms, so I've got a fairly high resistance on these lines here. But still working on it here, and I will see what I've got going on with this as I continue to check parts and see what's up.